We were talking about a Richland recall. It's now getting a weigh-in from the state Supreme Court.
Folks, it is a beautiful start to your weekend. I'll get you and your family ready for that weekend. And my first alert weather forecast that is coming right up.
And we're talking about an effort to bring attention to the missing and murdered Indigenous women and people movement.
Now, KAPP Local News Special Edition.
Good evening. I'm Alyssa Warner.
And I'm Jason Valentine. Thank you for joining us on this Friday evening.
We begin with an update tonight in the recall of 3 Richland School Board members. The Washington Supreme Court has ruled that they violated state law when they voted to remove the district's mask mandate. KVEW's Madeline Hagan has been tracking this case.
This week, the Washington Supreme Court filed an opinion saying 3 of the alleged charges on the recall petition are factually and legally sufficient. The board members are charged with violating state law and the Open Public Meetings Act. In its slip opinion filed this week, the court stated the RSD board did not have the power to override state-level action when they revoked the mask mandate. Documents state multiple attorneys even told the members that doing so would be breaking the law. When it comes to the charge on the Open Public Meetings Act, the agenda item was labeled local control. The court said this was not clear enough to specify what board members plan to do during that special meeting. We reached out to lawyer Douglas McKinley, who's been involved in the case. He says this opinion means there is a basis for a recall. If petitioners gather enough signatures, we could see this matter on the August ballot. For KAPP Local News, I'm Madeline Hagan.
Well, traffic backed up on the Blue Bridge into Pasco after a crash this morning in Kennewick. It happened before 9 on Clearwater and US 395. According to the Washington State Patrol, a Toyota Tundra was turning left onto Clearwater while the driver of a Honda Accord ran a red light and struck the Toyota. The impact of the collision sheared off a crosswalk pole. Troopers say one driver went to the hospital for, quote, precautionary reasons.
Tonight we're talking about the water outlook for the year. Right now, Washington is in pretty good shape. Take a look at the drought monitor. This is the most recent one. You can see some parts of the state are getting a little bit dry, but for our area, we're actually mostly in the normal range for precipitation. This is compared to last year at this time. We were seeing some serious drought conditions for eastern Washington. So the good news is we've had a lot of snow. We've had some rain through the winter. That has helped us get those water levels up. But Jason, we've been talking about this. It hasn't been as rainy this spring as one might expect.
It has not. And you showed what we saw last year. That was during that wet spring. If you remember 2 years ago, that map was even worse. So, and just like California, they have come out of a drought they thought they may never lose, and we're looking pretty good so far. But you're right, it hasn't been as rainy, but it is to our benefit if you like the sun.
That is true. I am loving the weather.
Yes, in the heat. Let's take a look outside at our Skycam at Geese Stadium. They're keeping the lovely grass green there at the Dust Devil Stadium. And folks, it is a beautiful night and we have a beautiful weekend ahead. Skywatch radar, we are free and clear. We do expect to be that way for at least through maybe early on Sunday. But for the next 24 hours, we have mostly clear skies. Gorgeous conditions. Overnight lows will be in the 50s across the board. Tomorrow's highs mid to upper 80s, the hottest day of 2023. Right now, 72 and starting to calm down in Yakima. Again, not too much wind, folks, and 69 in the Tri-Cities. So, can't wait to tell you all the good news, but do get ready for cooler highs a week from today, and we're going to be seeing cooler temperatures by Monday. So, all of your forecast that's coming up.
Murder is the 3rd leading cause of death for Native American women. It's an epidemic that advocates have been fighting for decades. It's also the focus of a community forum hosted by Eastern Washington University today at the Yakima Convention Center. KAPP's Emily Goodell tells us they put an emphasis on barriers to addressing the crisis and how you can help.
We want to be able to provide environments where our children are safe.
But children grow up.
Disproportionate predatory threat facing Indigenous women and girls.
At least 40 cases of missing Indigenous people in Yakima County, spread among city, county, state, federal, and tribal law enforcement officers who aren't always clear on who's in charge.
We map data, but this, unfortunately, it's not a land use map.
It's a jurisdictional checkerboard.
We have tribally owned land and then non-Indians, trust property and fee property.
Buried under layers of laws.
If it's a tribal person, tribal laws apply. If there's a non-Indian, we do not have jurisdiction over those individuals.
Families facing a lack of communication and transparency from law enforcement.
Having that is probably one of the barriers that I ran in personally with my sister's case.
Rosenda Strong disappeared from Toppenish in 2018. Was found dead in 2019 and still.
I've only been updated twice.
Other cases reported too late or not at all due to fear, ignorance, or indifference. Suspects know that and use it.
Traffickers and sexual predators believe they are less likely to be caught or prosecuted when the crime takes place in Indian country.
But you can make a difference by sharing missing persons flyers everywhere you can and keeping your eyes open for suspicious activity.
Then you can report it on Truckers Against Trafficking. It's an app where you can take down a car, a license plate, a place, a situation. Then at least law enforcement has something to go on.
The thing that I take from everything we've heard today is those of us that are not of the Native Indigenous community, it's our responsibility to dismantle these barriers. And every single one of us can play a part of that in this community.
In Yakima, Emily Goodell, KAPP Local News.
On this upcoming Monday, May 1st, begins the 2023 National Week of Action for MMIW. We're going to talk more about that coming up next week.
An update to a murder case out of Mesa, Washington from August of last year. Shiloh Chervanel Brinson, pled guilty to first-degree murder, and yesterday a judge sentenced her to 25 years in prison. Deputies received reports of a missing woman who was possibly dead in Mesa. When deputies arrived, they found Kathleen Chervanel Brinson dead and 2 children missing. The suspect in the case was found with the children and arrested in Morrow County, Oregon, later that day.
The Oregon legislative session is set to go until mid-June, and next week, state lawmakers will be considering a proposal that would effectively decriminalize homeless camps. It would give people experiencing homelessness the right to sue if they're harassed. The Right to Rest Act says people should have a reasonable expectation of privacy in any property that belongs to them, even if that property, like a tent, is in a public space. The proposal would also give people the right to sue if a camp is forcefully removed. Advocates say this bill would reinforce a person's right to be left alone. Now, the U.S. Supreme Court has already ruled that you cannot punish people for sleeping in public unless they refuse a bed.
Millions of people across the country are facing an uncertain future as states are in the midst of reviewing Medicaid recipients to make sure they're within the correct financial bracket. The Associated Press reports the problem is that some states are using outdated information that leads to people being removed from Medicaid even though they should still qualify. And while states are required to send notices letting people know they're losing coverage, advocates are worried that people might not realize what happened until they need coverage and find they don't have it any longer.
April is Autism Awareness Month, and to better serve the ASD community, the WSU Elson S. Floyd College of Medicine and Range Community Clinic is offering help. This clinic is the first in Eastern Washington to combine several specialties that help children impacted by autism and other neurodevelopmental disorders. That includes research, expertise, and community outreach.
We actually just opened the clinic doors this week and saw our first patient. But since we have opened the program, the phones have just been ringing off the hooks from families and primary care providers who are looking to get their families enrolled here for an evaluation.
The clinic will provide diagnostic services and comprehensive treatment planning. Specifically, they're hoping it will cut the wait time by up to 3 months for an autism diagnosis, and that can typically take up to a year. Now, one of the main missions of this new program is to increase outreach to rural communities that have restricted access to health care. Officials are saying they hope to have the opportunity to train future health care providers by having college students rotate through that clinic. Jason, I love this concept because
yes,
so much research is being done, and the sooner that you can get these kids into treatment and help, the better their long-term prognosis is.
And really, we've been needing these kind of services for quite some time, especially during the pandemic. So any help is very well needed. So we're so glad that clinic is open. Absolutely.
We're going to say go Cougs tonight.
Go Cougs!
And still ahead, we're talking about a push to set a new age limit for social media. Will it actually make progress?
Interesting. Also, it's going to be the first hot weekend of the spring and of, hey, 2023. I'm talking about the details you'll need to make your plans.
And we mentioned this just a few minutes ago. All that rain in California, now the melting snow, it's having a big impact on farmers. We're going to hear more about the impact it's having on the growing season coming up in the next 15 minutes.
Spring Fever fun has arrived at Wild Horse Resort and Casino. Sizzle your way to over $7 grand in cash and free play with 30,000 Spring Fever hot seats every Friday and Saturday. Plus surprise gifts during spring cleaning, swipe and win. Win up to $2,000 cash with our quick cash giveaway and $10,000 bingo April 23rd. With so many ways to win, any day can be yours. Wild Horse Resort and Casino, Pendleton, Oregon. More winners, more often.
Okay, I think we're all aware that most cell companies only give you the lowest price when you sign up for multiple lines. But US Cellular gives you just one line for $29.99 with unlimited data. So you don't have to get more lines than you need. No, you hang up.
US Cellular, built for us.
At Mattress Depot USA, we believe everyone is entitled to a good night's sleep regardless of their credit situation. That's why we're approving everyone for up to $1,200 towards the purchase of a new mattress with no credit needed. You spend a third of your life in bed, and a comfortable mattress is essential for providing quality of life. $3,000 credit, 100 days, same as cash with no credit needed. Only at Mattress Depot USA.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
From robotics to commercial truck driving and medical technologies, Perry Tech offers 14 hands-on programs designed to help develop the skills needed in industry. Be on your way to a new career in as little as 5 weeks to 2 years. With financial aid and scholarships available for those who qualify, the staff at Perry Tech can help you remove the obstacles that may be holding you back. Explore more than 80 years of training tradition and see if Perry Tech is the right fit for you by visiting perrytech.edu today.
Did you know the most common mosquito in our area can travel 5 to 8 miles? Here at Benton County Mosquito Control, our objective is to provide effective mosquito control for your home, neighborhood, and community. Our friendly mosquito control technicians use mosquito population monitoring, educational programming, and a variety of field techniques to reduce mosquitoes in your area. Reduce areas of standing water around your home to help control mosquitoes. For more help, give us a call or visit us online at www.mosquitocontrol.org. Benton County Mosquito Control, where your comfort and health become a priority.
There's no other word quite like home, because it's more than any specific place. It could be in the team spirit that keeps your heart pounding the whole drive over the mountains. It could be in the friendships that make you able to laugh at yourself. It's a feeling, a belonging, and that's really different for everyone. So while we can't define what home is to you, what we can do is help you get there.
Find your way home today in a new Mazda from McCurley Mazda.
Save now with Bi-Mart's latest membership savings book, arriving exclusively in members' mailboxes this week. Our 16-page book has store-wide savings in every department. From lawn and garden essentials to patio needs, Bi-Mart has you covered for less. Plus, save on pantry essentials, pet supplies, and more. Save now with our latest savings book at Bi-Mart, your employee-owned membership store.
Portion of KAPP sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Welcome back. A federal judge says the Justice Department's antitrust lawsuit against Google can move forward. And more than a dozen states have joined the Department of Justice in this lawsuit. They're accusing Google of monopolizing online advertising technology and using its huge size to stamp out the competition. The Department of Justice says Google controls the digital tools that nearly every website publisher and advertiser uses to buy and sell ads. Today, a federal judge rejected Google's motion to dismiss the case. It now moves on to the discovery phase. So a long way ahead, Jason.
Yes, that's going to take a little while, I think. Well, a new federal bill aims to keep young kids off of social media. Lawmakers are looking to address what mental health advocates and critics of tech platforms say is a mental health crisis fueled by social media.
Ivan Rodriguez explains what is in this bill and why some tech accountability experts say it falls short.
A bipartisan group of senators unveiling legislation this week that would establish 13 as the national minimum age for social media use and create strict standards for verifying a user's age.
Making young people feel the very ways that we as parents and as a society don't want them to feel is built into the business model.
The proposed bill also requires parental consent for users aged 13 to 17 and bans tech platforms from using teens' personal information to target them with content or advertising.
Social media companies have a duty to help keep kids safe and parents informed or face serious consequences.
Lawmakers say the legislation is in line with guidance from the U.S. Surgeon General.
The skewed and often distorted environment of social media often does a disservice to many of those children.
Senator Richard Blumenthal is working on a separate bill to address the problem and says he has concerns about this version. Tech accountability advocates agree the bill is focused on the wrong issue.
This bill doesn't actually put any responsibility onto the tech companies. Instead, it's putting more responsibility onto parents and young people to kind of self-police.
Nicole Gill with the nonprofit Accountable Tech argues law should incentivize tech companies to redesign their platforms to protect mental health and privacy.
We have an opportunity right now to rethink the way that these platforms work for young people, and we should take it.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Now, we've also seen an effort in Congress to give the president authority to ban certain apps. That's intended to block TikTok primarily, but opponents have warned that the proposal could give the president a lot more power than banning just one app.
Now, KAPP First Alert Weather with Jason Valentine.
Good Friday evening, everyone. Welcome to the weekend. We had a beautiful day today, and it continues. Lovely look at our sky cam. We had plenty of blue sky. Of course, it is transitioning to the night. But what a beautiful weekend is ahead, and we had a lovely day today. Hope you got outside. I had the pleasure of doing live weather earlier today out at Columbia Park. It was just lovely. People were getting the boats out right by the boat slip. We are looking at light winds until Sunday, and really the winds on Sunday aren't going to be much to talk about, but still a little bit coming in. Cooler on Monday and much cooler a week from today. So these hot conditions aren't going to be sticking around for too long, but they're going to stick around long enough for your weekend. So as we look at the Skywatch radar, we are looking lovely, just clear skies. And as we head into our futurecast, we're going to stay that way for our Saturday. Just a hint of shower activity could come through as we get to late Saturday into early Sunday. And we have a good chance of seeing a little bit of shower activity possibly coming in as we get to our Monday morning. So keep an eye out for that. Watch, of course, Good Morning Northwest for that starting at 5 a.m. Monday morning for the latest. So currently we are in the upper 60s to lower 70s as we just stayed very balmy today, and even warmer temperatures tomorrow as we apex tomorrow and then slowly start to cool down on Sunday. And as we get to our Monday, we're going to be right around our average for all of our areas. So for tomorrow, we're going to be looking at about, let's say, 15 to 20 degrees above our averages for all of our cities. So just resplendent Saturday is on the way. Then we see that cool down, but still right around our average. Then we'll warm back up and cool back down next week, and especially as we get to Friday of next week as we see a big dip on the way. Winds not really going to be a factor, at least today and tomorrow, but we are going to see just a little bit of wind kicking up as we get to our Sunday, right around 10, possibly 15 mile per hour winds at times, and then a little bit heavier winds as we move along in the week on Thursday. But still, folks, looking very, very nice, and that is going to continue. So tonight, we are looking at overnight lows in the 50s. And again, look how closely grouped together we are, all our temperatures are. That is a sign of a very stable weather pattern. And we're going to see that continue into tomorrow. Pretty much mid-80s, mostly sunny skies. It is going to be very nice. I hope you have some time to get out and enjoy a picnic with the family, do some hiking, even good traveling weather if you're headed to the west side or wherever you're headed. 7-day forecast, mid to upper 80s for your weekend. Cooler for your Monday. Keep an eye out for some quick showers in the morning. Then 80s lower 80s Tuesday and Wednesday, and all the way down to 73 by Friday. We do have more sunshine than not for the week ahead. Overnight lows in the 50s for the week ahead as well. In the Yakima region, going to be at 86 tomorrow, 80 on Sunday, down to 73 Monday, lower 80s Tuesday and Wednesday, and down to what? 68 a week from today. So pretty much, in other words, we're still ending April, our final weekend of April, as we start May early next week. So as we enter May, we are looking for those May flowers with these nice conditions, with a bit of those April showers we had, but still unpredictable conditions are ahead for your May, as we're still quite a ways. We're still a month and a half plus away from summer. So do get ready for more sunshine than not this weekend, and more sunshine than not for the week ahead. Just to get ready for that cool Monday on the way.
Thanks, Jason. That 68 degrees is going to feel like coat weather after this weekend. Now, some local students got to enjoy the beautiful weather today, celebrating Arbor Day. We'll show you where they made an investment in summer shade, coming up on KAPP KVEW Local News.
It's time to get the tax break you deserve this week at Walker's Furniture, as they offer a double discount with 18% off or no minimum purchase, no money down, 5 years financing with 60 equal payments.
There's no better time to freshen up your living room, dine in style, or get that bedroom set you've always wanted. Plus, get a double discount or 5 years financing with 60 equal payments.
Making it the perfect time to furnish your life for less at Walker's.
This is how legends are made.
Chevy Silverado and new Silverado HD. Choose your own path with the #1 best-selling retail full-size pickup, and see where it takes you. Find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2023 Silverado 1500 pickups, or get $2,250 total cash allowance on a 2023 Silverado with a turbo high output engine. See your community Chevy dealers.
Since 1968, Sundown M Ranch has helped over 200,000 patients and families recover from the effects of substance use disorders.
I was ashamed, humiliated, and not sure if I could be helped, but I listened and found a completely different way to live by spending time at Sundown.
I did not believe there was a way out of the dark hole my life had become. Sundown M Ranch provided a foundation for me to find a new way to live.
Sundown M Ranch. Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Perry Tech's Win a Home Scholarship fundraising raffle is back and better, with even more chances to win, including the estimated $450,000 West Yakima home, built by the students of Perry Tech. Raffle tickets are on sale now. Sponsored by United Association, Local 32 Plumbers, Pipe Fitters, and HVAC Refrigeration Technicians. Tickets are $100 each, with proceeds from sales benefiting student scholarships. For more info on ticket sale locations and complete rules, visit perrytech.edu/raffle and get your chance to help students.
Smoke City for Less is your one-stop shop in Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, Hermiston, and West Richland. Every location is conveniently located and gives you the lowest prices and largest selection of vape mods, the best batteries, tobacco products, kratom, and specialty products too. We have something for everyone, including gift cards for any occasion. Check out the specials and deals today. Open 7 days a week in 5 locations: Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, Hermiston, and West Richland. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
Now get KAPP KVEW First Alert Weather to go with our mobile app.
Be prepared. Scan this code now and get KAPP KVEW local news, including First Alert Weather on your mobile phone or tablet. First Alert Weather from KAPP KVEW local news, helping keep you and your family safe.
That is playoff hockey on ESPN and ABC.
Everyone's a winner, baby, that's so loud.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs on ABC KAPP KVEW. Sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health. Learn more at prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
Welcome back. A sudden surge of warm weather means that flooding is the story across much of the United States tonight. All of the rain and snow that California saw over the winter is now officially impacting crops. One farmer in the San Francisco Bay Area says storms kept him out of the fields all winter and through most of the spring, delaying his season by about 3 weeks.
Normally I would have cabbage, I would have some lettuce, carrots, but we haven't been able to plant anything at all. So we're basically going straight from winter to summer. It's weird. I mean, like I said, 3 weeks ago, part of it was still standing water, and now we're out there, it's like 90 degrees.
The Biden administration did declare a major disaster for parts of California. That opened up federal assistance to help with recovery from these storms. And it's been 6 weeks since a bank that was favored by tech companies suddenly collapsed. A new report says that's partially the Federal Reserve's fault. We're taking a closer look at that coming up in the next 10 minutes.
Portion of KAPP sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
It's time to get the tax break you deserve this week at Walker's Furniture, as they offer a double discount with 18% off or no minimum purchase, no money down, 5 years financing with 60 equal payments.
There's no better time to freshen up your living room, dine in style, or get that bedroom set you've always wanted. Plus, get a double discount or 5 years financing with 60 equal payments.
Making it the perfect time to furnish your life for less at Walker's.
This is how legends are made.
Chevy Silverado and new Silverado HD. Choose your own path with the #1 best-selling retail full-size pickup and see where it takes you. Find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2023 Silverado 1500 pickups, or get $2,250 total cash allowance on a 2023 Silverado with a turbo high output engine. See your community Chevy dealers.
100% ribeye beef in a burger. Yep, 100% ribeye beef in a burger. My Ribeye Steakhouse burgers. All the flavor of a juicy ribeye steak in a burger. Did I mention they're made with 100% ribeye beef?
Our phones keep us constantly connected. But what if they had a mode to help us actually connect? To limit screen time, but not quality time. And to give us rhythm instead of algorithms. Introducing Us Mode. Set your phone for human connection at US Cellular.
Granting a wish is a powerful thing. My relationship with Make-A-Wish began 14 years ago. We put on a small car show here at the dealership. We generated $4,600, and 14 years later, we cumulatively now have a total of $1.14 million we've done for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I'm lucky to have a position that affords me the opportunity to work with some fantastic people throughout Eastern Washington. They understand our motivation to support the community, and they truly want to support the community. Granting a wish is a powerful thing. You see the laughter, you see the smile. Being a part of that, you can't walk away from that. You want to help another child, and that's been my motivation for years. When a lot of people come together, to me, that's community, and that's home.
Find your way home in a new Mazda from McCurley Mazda.
Time for a new roof? Let Eminent Roofing replace it with a product so good you'll never have to replace it again. Our roofs come with a limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again.
With the rain and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Call today to receive 0% financing on approved credit.
So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
The Mako machine really helps us bring a different level of accuracy and precision to doing total hip and total knee arthroplasty. We can dial in half a degree, we can dial in tenths of a millimeter to make sure that we're getting those components in the perfect orientation and that we can get the knee balanced in both flexion and extension. It's really incredible. The Prosser Memorial Health has invested in this machine. I think it's going to do phenomenal things for our patients.
Portland General Electric says it's putting in the second largest battery storage installation in the United States, second only to one in California. So the big problem with switching from traditional energy sources, the wind and solar power aren't constant. You have to store them somehow, and giant battery packs are the solution that we have so far. So the Portland project will generate enough electricity, they're saying, for around 260,000 homes. It's about the size of the entire city for 4 hours at full power. The new battery project was made possible partially by the Inflation Reduction Act, which offers investment tax credits for battery storage projects. They're planning to start construction coming up later this year.
Well, spring beauty now blossoming all around eastern Washington, pretty much everywhere you look. Today marks National Observations of Arbor Day, when planting trees is encouraged. 80 Badger Mountain Elementary students in Richland got a green thumb lesson today. They learned the proper protocol for planting trees from Richland Parks and Rec.
The kids are into it. They get to play with dirt. It's the best thing in the world. All the trees out here, they're going to provide shade for everyone that's coming out here to cool down.
I liked playing with dirt when I was in school. The trees were donated by various organizations and local businesses, including Jobs Nursery in Pasco. You can find the students' work near the splash pad, at Badger Mountain Community Park in Richland.
I'm glad they're learning the steps to this because,
yes.
I mean, even as an adult, I'm thinking, wait, you dig a hole and you put the tree in it. But I'm pretty sure it's more complicated than that.
I think it is. I remember they planted a tree at my dad's house, and I was young, and they put in what they called dinosaur eggs.
Oh.
And I'm sure they were fertilizer.
That sounds exciting.
But it was exciting. It's like, oh, they're putting dinosaur eggs in there. That'll help out the tree.
There we go. That's what they need.
Well, and Alyssa, warm weather calls for getting outside and exploring some of the amazing parks throughout Washington. You may have heard about Sun Lake Dry Falls Park. I certainly have, and now the rest of the world will too. The park has been designated as one of the world's top 100 geological heritage sites. You're looking at footage from a story that, hey, I worked on a couple years ago. The park is known for its steep cliffs and plunge pools shaped by the Great Missoula floods thousands of years ago. The Sun Lake's Dry Falls Park is a 2-hour drive north of the Tri-Cities. It is so worth it. I remember that was a December day, so obviously it was a non-snowy December day. They're called Dry Falls because it was the largest waterfall in the history of the world.
So we think if Niagara Falls dried up, it would be smaller than this.
It would be much smaller than this. So anyways, it's just pretty wild. And hey, if you're doing some hiking this weekend, you need some water, sunscreen, because of the sunshine that is coming out. And again, sudden heat, we're not used to it, Alyssa,
right.
So you may want to take some precautions. All of your forecast coming right up.
And it's opening night for Proof at Prosser's Princess Theater. Coming up, we'll hear how the director made absolutely sure that his math was correct for this production.
Now, KAPP Local News Special Edition.
Tonight we're seeing some conflicting numbers when it comes to inflation. The Bureau of Labor and Statistics says overall Americans are making a bit more in 2023 than they were in the end of 2022. But when we say a bit, that averages out to a penny or two on the dollar. But when businesses have to pay workers more, they will often raise prices, which would feed inflation. But then it looks like Americans aren't paying those higher prices. The Commerce Department says personal spending is down, and the Federal Reserve will take that into account when it meets next week to decide whether to raise interest rates again. Now today, the Federal Reserve gave an update on what happened with Silicon Valley Bank, which collapsed 6 weeks ago.
And that review actually shows the Fed bears part of the blame. They saw problems but didn't act fast enough. ABC's Alexis Christoforous explains.
The Federal Reserve admitting it failed to anticipate and prevent the second biggest bank failure in U.S. history. The Fed's internal review finding the Fed did not fully appreciate the risks from Silicon Valley Bank's rapid growth and did not take sufficient steps to ensure the bank fix its problems. The Fed's top banking regulator, Michael Barr, now calling for revamping a range of rules that apply to banks with more than $100 billion in assets. He's also calling for reevaluating how regulators treat deposits above a $250,000 federal insurance limit. The feds took control of SVB March 10th and guaranteed all deposits at the bank, insured or not. The bank's collapse sparking a panic that led to the failure of New York-based Signature Bank 2 days later. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corp seizing that bank and backing customer deposits. Today, the FDIC issuing a separate report admitting the agency was slow to escalate issues that it identified with Signature's management, but putting much of the blame on the bank, saying it grew too fast and wasn't responsive enough when the FDIC raised concerns.
6 weeks after those two bank failures, there are still concerns. First Republic Bank this week said customers withdrew more than $100 billion from the regional lender last month, and concerns are growing that the bank will either have to find a buyer or be taken over by the FDIC. Alexis Christoforous, ABC News, New York.
And this report could change the way that the Fed monitors banks, especially smaller banks, which had typically faced looser regulations. I'm betting that's not good news for the smaller banks themselves.
Well, I think it's kind of like going to school. You know, it's
Sure.
good in the long run. You don't enjoy it, perhaps, but it's good in the long run.
Yeah, a little bit. But you know, when you're used to looser rules, it's a little
Yes.
tough to kind of transition.
Now, one thing we're enjoying right now
Yes.
is the weather.
I got to play hooky today and go out to the park.
We saw that.
And
You
it
looked like you were having fun.
It was fun, and I hope everybody can do it tomorrow. Let's take a look outside if you weren't able to today. Oh, the sun is down, but it will be back with a vengeance tomorrow, and dry conditions throughout the Northwest. It is going to continue to be very, very nice through Sunday, though we could see a little bit of shower activity Monday morning. Clear skies throughout our evening, and we're looking at mid to upper 80s for our highs tomorrow with ample sunshine, light winds. Let's just say it, the best weather so far in 2023. 72 right now in Yakima, last vestiges of some sunshine in the Tri-Cities. Same story, 69. Not too much wind out there. Folks, can't wait to tell you and get your family ready for the weekend. My forecast is coming up.
Well, tonight we have new information from the Federal Aviation Administration. They're saying they initially ignored their own engineers' recommendations to ground the Boeing 737 MAX back in 2019 after 2 deadly crashes killed a total of 346 people. The Inspector General for the Department of Transportation said that engineers at the FAA's office that was overseeing Boeing actually recommended grounding the aircraft while that second deadly accident was under investigation. The recommendation based on the engineers saying, hey, we think there's a similarity between these 2 crashes. But there was also some other data that suggested the crashes weren't related, and the FAA opted not to ground the plane right away. Now, as we know, eventually they did ground the Boeing 737 MAX. That was 3 days after the second crash, and a move that every other country in the world had already made by that point.
3 soldiers are dead and a 4th is in the hospital after 2 military helicopters crashed on their way back from a training exercise in Alaska. The Army says a team of investigators is traveling to the crash scene. We're told the helicopters involved were AH-64 Apaches. It's the second crash in Alaska involving this type of helicopter. The military has not released any information about the 3 soldiers killed in the crash. And all U.S. Army aviators not involved in critical missions have been grounded following this and another deadly crash near Fort Campbell, Kentucky. In that case, 2 helicopters crashed during a training mission near Fort Campbell, Kentucky, killing all 9 soldiers aboard the aircraft. The incidents are under investigation, but the Army says there is no indication of any pattern between the 2.
Well, you're about to hear less about how prevalent COVID is in the community. That is because the CDC is ending its COVID-19 community level system. This is where we were seeing high, medium, low risk. The nation's public health emergency expires on May 11th. That's less than 2 weeks away. And after that, health departments won't be required to submit their COVID-19 numbers to the CDC.
Wow. Well, art and math. The Princess Theater in Prosser now bring those 2 subjects together on stage. The play, Proof, opens tonight, and math is a strong plot line throughout.
Now, for this production, the theater brought in a dramaturg. That's a person who can help bring context and help ensure that the production is accurate.
Interesting. KAPP Jill Sperling spoke to the research scientists advising the actors in Proof.
This is like a symphony to me. There's a certain beauty about it. And there's a certain
Greg Shenter is a research scientist at Pacific Northwest National Laboratory.
So I do chemistry, physics, and mathematics to try to understand phenomena at a very fundamental level. Here's an example of an elliptic function.
And now he's taking his passion for math
There's an elliptic function.
and applying it to the theater.
Yeah, I wrote down a lot of the themes. Yeah, what is real?
Recruited by friend and director Ted Miller to serve as a dramaturg for the Prosser Princess Theater's production of Proof.
Early on in the process, as I was preparing and planning and building my production team, realized that many actors and people in the arts aren't necessarily mathematicians. And yet these characters have a love and an understanding of mathematics that is like artists and beauty and that sort of thing.
Shenter has been able to share that love and understanding with the actors and even advised on the accuracy of a promotional poster.
Ted showed me an early version of the poster, and it turned out to be a lot of generic physics equations. I said, wait a minute, that's not mathematics, that's physics. And so I distinguished between mathematics and physics.
And the play isn't only about math. Proof tells the story of the daughter of a mathematical genius who she cared for through mental illness.
It's just a beautiful story that I like to say explores the themes of gender, of genius, of mental illness through the beauty of mathematics.
If you don't have the same love of math that Shenter does, not to worry. There are plenty of relatable themes for audiences to appreciate.
Thank you so much, Jill. This is the first time in the Princess Theater's history that a dramaturg has been used. It's also director Ted Miller's first time directing at the Princess Theater. He will be hosting a drinks and dialogue with the director before Saturday evening's performance. And we had Ted Miller on Good Morning Northwest quite a few times during my tenure a few years ago. A good man. I'm sure it's a good... I love it. It's the Princess Theater in Prosser, and the play is Proof. And I love math too. I know I'm in the minority, but that is very cool.
It's got math for you.
Yes.
It's got drama for me. It's the perfect show.
I love it.
Now tonight, most of Yosemite National Park is shutting down. It doesn't look like it, but they're actually very concerned about a natural disaster. Tonight, we're hearing from officials about why they made the call to close.
Wow, Alyssa, I'm sticking around for that. Plus, we're talking about a bright and very warm forecast right here in the Mid-Columbia, in Yakima, the Blue Mountain region, everywhere. That's coming right up next.
And you may have noticed we're on a different time. It's all because of the NFL draft. You can watch the draft live tomorrow starting at 9 a.m. only here on ABC and KAPP.
Portion of KAPP sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Let a Mattress Depot USA sleep specialist put you on the mattress that matches your sleeping habits.
Stop by today. You'll sleep better tonight.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $2,100 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
How does free college or career training sound? It's possible. Washington College Grant is one of the most generous financial aid programs in the country. Eligible Washington residents can get free money for certificate programs, job training, apprenticeships, or college. You can go full-time or part-time, so you can work and continue your education at the same time. Learn more at wagrant.org. That's wagrant.org.
Everybody in the Tri-Cities has been to a Hubby's Pizza Party, right? You haven't? Acquire the Hubby's habit and book your party today. Delicious, mouth-watering food made with only the freshest ingredients. It's party time at Hubby's Pizza, a hometown favorite for nearly 45 years. Book your party today.
What would you do if you had a broken bone? You'd go to the doctor and use your insurance, right? What would you do if you had a serious problem with drugs and alcohol? Most people do nothing until it's too late. Your insurance can help you get clean and sober with the assistance of a place like the Detox and Treatment Helpline. Many times treatment is fully covered, so why not use your insurance to treat your addiction problem just like you would if you had a broken bone? And with the Family Medical Leave Act, you're allowed by law to take off time from work, and your employer doesn't need to know the reason. So there are two good reasons. You've got insurance you can use for your addiction problem, and with the Family Medical Leave Act, it's completely confidential. Call us right now and save a life.
800-795-1262. 800-795-1262. 800-795-1262.
April is National Foot and Ankle Health Awareness Month. After showering, dry and moisturize your feet to avoid infections. More information at yaktrinews.com.
Prosser Orthopedic Center podiatrist Dr. Jarrett Clifford is accepting new patients. This is how we care.
At Mattress Depot USA, we realize your top priority is to get a quality mattress at a great price.
And it never hurts to do business with someone local.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Welcome back on this Friday evening. Well, tonight we continue to track the crisis in Ukraine. A Russian missile attack overnight hit an apartment building in the central part of the country, killing at least 23 people. Ukraine says it managed to shoot down about half of the missiles, including some fired at the capital city. The first missile attack on Kyiv in almost 2 months. It comes shortly after Ukraine's president spoke with China's leader, who reportedly is planning to send a peace envoy to Ukraine. Developing news from Sudan, where the United States is now working to evacuate American citizens, according to the New York Times. American diplomats were evacuated almost a week ago as fighting between two military groups in Sudan ramped up. It's a chaotic situation, and the United States has been slow to set up a formal escape route for thousands of Americans trapped in the middle. Earlier this week, State Department officials said there was simply wasn't a lot of demand, although that may have changed as fighting at the Sudan got worse.
Well, here in the U.S., we're seeing flooding risks from the Midwest almost all the way to the Pacific. So snow in Minnesota is melting fast. All that water is now flowing to the Mississippi River. Take a look at this video. This is just a park that's now almost completely underwater. We talked about the floods in Wisconsin and Minnesota yesterday. Now that surge is moving south, hitting Iowa and Illinois. Some areas are now seeing their highest Mississippi River levels in decades. Meanwhile, in California, Yosemite National Park is partially closing tonight because of fast melting snow there. The National Park Service announced earlier this week that it would close most of the park because of flood concerns. This comes after they closed for several weeks last month for extreme snow, which again is all melting and running downhill.
Merced River is usually a pretty lazy, very mellow, relaxed river. And as you can tell behind me and probably here, it is not that right now. And we want to avoid a potential emergency situation of guests and visitors getting stuck and not being able to get in and out of the park. So this is just out of abundance of precaution and to ensure the safety of everyone coming to Yosemite Park.
The partial closure is set to last until at least Wednesday, but park officials say visitors need to be prepared for snow on the ground. They're saying this could last until July and leave the trails extremely wet and muddy even beyond that.
Now, KAPP KVEW First Alert Weather with Jason Valentine.
Good Friday evening, everyone. Welcome to the weekend, and it's the weekend, well, a lot of people have been waiting for. If you're a fan of warmer temperatures and sunshine, it is here. Beautiful weekend. We do have light winds until Sunday, still just around 10 to 15 mile per hour winds. Not too bad, but we do have much cooler temperatures on Monday. Then we'll warm up in our next work week until a week from today on our Friday, when we expect lower 70s to upper 60s. So we're going to return to what we saw earlier in April as we leave April this weekend. May 1st is next Monday. So Skywatch radar, we are just clear. It is just beautiful, perfect night to do some stargazing or whatnot. And as we head into our future cast, we do have mostly clear skies for the foreseeable future till we get to Saturday late night. Maybe just the quickest of quick shower activity to come in until Sunday morning. Then that will be moving out, but we could see a little bit more shower activity returning as we get into Sunday evening for just to the west of the Ellensburg and Yakima areas. And then Monday morning, we could see a little bit of a spritz for your commute. So keep an eye out for that. Good Morning Northwest. Monday morning, we'll have an update on that, of course, starting at 5 a.m. So we're mostly in the 60s as we head into our evening hours. We're right at 70 for Hanford and Toppenish. Just beautiful conditions. Again, we're about 10 or so degrees above our average for this time of year. As we get into tomorrow, we're going to be about 15 to 20 degrees above our average for all of our cities. For Tri-Cities, 71 is your average, up to 87 tomorrow, mid 80s for Sunday, down quite a bit, 15 degrees from Saturday to Monday, but we're still going to be above our average, and that's going to continue into our next work week. But we do cool down Thursday and then right at the average as we get to a week from today. So cooler temperatures are on the way. As we look at our winds, we are light. We're going to be remaining light tomorrow. Again, sunshine, hot, beautiful. Oh, the Saturday. Sunday, pretty good. 10 to maybe 15 mile per hour winds. That will persist for most of our next work week, at least to midweek. Then maybe a little bit of a push as we get to Thursday. So let's take a look at our overnight period. Clear skies, gorgeous. We are going to be mostly in the 50s, 49 for Tri-Cities, 48 for Ellensburg. And we're going to be staying just warm, folks, as we get into tomorrow. Mid to upper 70s and mostly sunny skies. Just gorgeous. And we do expect it to be just a little bit cooler for your Sunday for the Tri-Cities. A little bit of morning showers possible, but still more sunshine than not for the week ahead. And we're going to be cooling down by quite a bit on Monday and on Friday. It's a very odd weather pattern, but we're looking at warming up midweek. Overnight lows kind of being steady. They're in the 50s for the week ahead. In Yakima, 80 degrees by Sunday, down to 73 Monday, and down to 68 by a week from today. Again, a little bit of spritzes here and there are possible, but folks, for tonight, it is going to be clear. Overnight lows mostly in the 50s, and tomorrow, highs in the mid to upper 80s. It is going to be a beautiful Saturday. Hope you can get out and enjoy that picnic, go hiking, travel somewhere. It is going to be a great, well, it's going to be the best weekend so far in 2023.
Well, tonight we're talking about a big event that's bringing all of the top dogs to Yakima this weekend. You're watching KAPP KVEW Local News. We'll be back in just a moment.
With Furniture Row employee pricing, you pay what we pay. Right now, our employee pricing is available to everyone. Get 15% off any single item when you spend $9.99 or more. Plus, 4 years no interest financing. But hurry, employee pricing at Furniture Row ends soon.
There's no other word quite like home, because it's more than any specific place. It could be in the team spirit that keeps your heart pounding the whole drive over the mountains. It could be in the friendships that make you able to laugh at yourself. It's a feeling, a belonging, and that's really different for everyone. So while we can't define what home is to you, what we can do is help you get there.
Find your way home in a new Subaru from McCurley Subaru.
Save now with Bi-Mart's latest membership savings book, arriving exclusively in members' mailboxes this week. Our 16-page book has store-wide savings in every department. From lawn and garden essentials to patio needs, Bi-Mart has you covered for less. Plus, save on pantry essentials, pet supplies, and more. Save now with our latest savings book at Bi-Mart, your employee-owned membership store.
When do you feel at home? When you're surrounded by loved ones? Or is it in the solitude of a quiet drive? For decades, we've called this community home and dedicated ourselves to helping those in it, in victories and in defeats, so that no matter where you go, you'll feel at home.
Find your way home in a new Mazda from McCurley Mazda.
You need a fan, but they're bulky, awkward, and never put the breeze exactly where you want it. Introducing my Fold-Away Fan from Bell & Howell, the compact cordless fan that unfolds into your own personal wind machine and extends to nearly 4 feet high. Its lightweight, portable design makes it easier than ever to have a targeted breeze anywhere. Plus, this whisper-quiet fan has 3 separate speeds, making personalizing your comfort a breeze. My Fold-Away Fan's rechargeable lithium battery lasts up to 10 hours, and it has enough power to blast a breeze to the other side of this room. Its unique telescoping stand allows you to place it on the floor, so the breeze will reach anywhere with ease. Then the whole thing folds away for easy storage. Get my Fold-Away Fan from Bell & Howell for just 2 payments of $19.99. It comes with the USB cable to make charging fast and easy. My Fold-Away Fan. Call or click now.
Call 1-800-349-4196. That's 1-800-349-4196 or go to myfoldawayfan.com.
With employee pricing at Denver Mattress, you pay what we pay. Get 15% off any single Denver Mattress brand product when you spend $9.99 or more. Plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. Hurry! Employee pricing at Denver Mattress ends soon.
Take flight over a museum of trains on Fly the Northwest Tuesday.
The Yakima Valley Kennel Club Dog Show is happening through Sunday at Sozo Sports Complex in Yakima. They have dogs of all ages competing to show off their breed and their skills when it comes to rally and obedience. Those are dogs that have been competing since they were puppies. One is just 3 points shy of becoming a champion.
My favorite is getting to work with her and bond with her and, you know, be out here with great people and in beautiful settings, and it's just a lot of fun.
The Yakima Kennel Club Dog Show continues tomorrow and Sunday from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. We'll be right back with a final check on your forecast.
You don't have to wait to save at More Furniture for less. Our Memorial Day sale is on now. You're invited to beat the crowds and save with incredible values for every room in your home. We have all the looks you love to get your home ready for summer, all at our lowest prices, all in stock and on sale. At More Furniture, value meets style every day. And with additional sale pricing store-wide, our prices are unbeatable. Visit morefurniture.com to preview all Memorial Day sale specials and chat with a furniture expert.
Our phones keep us constantly connected.
Please switch to airplane mode.
But what if they helped us actually connect?
What would I give?
Introducing US Mode. Set your phone for human connection at US Cellular.
Luxurious Karastan carpets are just the footing you need to live beautifully. And now, during National Karastan Month, you can save beautifully. Use your exclusive rebate to receive up to $1,000 back on select styles of Karastan carpets and the flawless craftsmanship of Lux Craft Hard Surface Flooring. Live beautifully, save beautifully with Karastan at Floor & Home by Carpet One.
Come see us at Floor & Home. Let us help create your space.
When you think about the future you want, but don't quite know how to get there, Heritage University can help. For more than 40 years, Heritage has helped people shape their dreams and provided them with the education and experiences to help make those dreams a reality. With small class sizes, instructors who are experts in their fields, scholarships to make college affordable, and now a regional site in Kennewick, your future is closer than you think. Learn more at heritage.edu/Tri-Cities.
There's no other word quite like home, because it's more than any specific place. It could be in the team spirit that keeps your heart pounding the whole drive over the mountains. It could be in the friendships that make you able to laugh at yourself. It's a feeling, a belonging, and that's really different for everyone. So while we can't define what home is to you, what we can do is help you get there.
Find your way home today in a new Chevrolet from McCurley Chevrolet.
Hi, I'm David Smith.
And I'm Tori Smith, local owners of Mattress Depot USA.
We both grew up in the Seattle area.
But unlike our large competitors, we still live in this community.
We do business with local manufacturers from right here in the Pacific Northwest.
Hey, we realize that your top priority is to get a quality mattress at the best possible price. And that's what we do.
And it never hurts to do business with someone local.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Take off on an awesome flight over a museum devoted entirely to railroads.
Largest museum in this area that's devoted strictly to the history of trains.
Fly the Northwest, KAPP Local News at 6, Tuesday. Portion of KAPP sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Welcome back. The one thing we just can't stop talking about is that gorgeous weather, Jason.
Well, you know, I get blamed for when the weather's bad. I get the
giving you the credit.
Thank you
Yes.
so much. I hope you are as well at all. Let's take a quick look outside. Folks, clear skies as we head into our overnight period into tomorrow. We are going to be seeing ample sunshine tomorrow. Get outside. But as we're talking earlier, we're not used to this heat. We're not used to this sunshine. Make sure you have, I know it seems strange, I always say suntan lotion, sunscreen. Make sure you have sunscreen on and protect yourself outside and stay hydrated.
Drink lots of water, yes. Thank you so much for watching. KAPP Local News is always on at yaktrinews.com. We're back at 11.